Welcome back to Conversations with Cyrus Webb, where we give you some of the best interviews with some of the best guests. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, and today I have a very special treat for you guys. Katandra Shanel Jackson is making her first appearance here in Mississippi for a literary event, and we have the opportunity to speak with her first. She's the author of books like Diary of a Bride-to-Be, as well as Angel Eyes. We're going to talk to her not only about her company, Freedom Inc., but also what it's been like for her to share the literary world with all of you. Katandra, hello, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm really excited about this. The first time, I should say, when I have actually met in person.
Right.
So we're really excited about that. I mentioned you're the author of several titles, including Angel Eyes, that we spoke
really
about this year.
First, books. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, it is an amazing opportunity, I think, that you give to authors, Katandra. I've had an opportunity to interview some of your authors on Conversations with Cyrus Webb, as well as with our radio show, Conversations Live. Talk to us about yourself as an author. I mean, have you gotten used to the idea yet of books being around the world with your name on them?
That part has not sunk in yet. That's why I think I ventured into publishing as opposed to being an author. It's pretty much still surreal right now. Yeah, it is.
So, you have really taken, that's interesting that you say that, because you have taken readers into a very personal view of your life. Diary of a Bride-to-Be, but it doesn't get much more personal
it doesn't.
than that, where you actually are taking us through this process. You did it with book one, which was the first time you and I interviewed on the radio show. Book two was different because there was a shift that took place that we were able to see. What was that like for you to not only to write this, but then to make the decision to publish it so that the world could kind of take this journey with you?
I actually approached a few literary agents, and some closed the door immediately, and some were saying it was a good story, but they weren't interested at the time. But I know of all the bride shows, the reality TV shows, the magazines, and I knew that there was a market and a niche for it. There was definitely an audience. And no two stories are alike, even if it's the same topic, same subject. So I definitely just want to give my spin on it, let people know that, yeah, it's real, very much.
Well, I think that is so true. Again, Katandra Shanel Jackson is my guest today for Conversations with Cyrus Webb. We're talking to her not only about the literary journey, but the experience of sharing it all. Talking about being personal, Angel Eyes, which deals with a very sensitive topic, Katandra, when it comes to child sexual abuse, is another one that is very personal. You actually have where you take the reader into your own decision to share your story and to tell your children your story. Why did you feel like this was a book you needed to do?
Sometimes you need to reveal in order to protect. And it's sometimes when you hide things, like I didn't want the kids to particularly know that I had been through this. Why allow them to learn about this later when it could be something that affects them in their childhood? You know, you tell a child not to touch an oven before they touch the oven. So I wanted to get that out into the world, and it was also kind of a healing process for myself and the ladies that came forward and did their stories. Absolutely.
What was it like for you to get that trust? Because it takes a lot of trust for someone to share a story. So what was it like for them to entrust their truth with you?
It's kind of like pulling teeth a little bit. You know, people don't want to reveal what's hurt them. And yeah, you definitely have to build up a friendship with someone, and they know that this is to better someone else's life, to help someone else. So it's better to reveal those hurts than to keep them if it's going to save someone else.
Yeah. That's a really good point. You know what I always think about, especially now that a new school year has started, there are I cannot even imagine people taking advantage of the innocence of a child and doing that. But I don't like to look at people as victims. I definitely prefer to look at them as survivors.
Right.
What has it been like for you to look at yourself as a survivor, someone who's been through something but is not defined by it?
If I had chosen to be a victim of this, then the book never would have come into. It just would never have been born. But to say that I'm a survivor, it means that I can speak about it, that I can tell people that I was sexually abused as a child. And it's liberating to be able to say that and not to keep it inside of me.
Well, I think that's a great thing. There are so many different books, and as I mentioned, as our viewers will be able to see on this channel, there are several other authors that you'll be able to see from Freedom Inc. as well as guests. We're so glad that you could come to Mississippi to be with us, Katandra. I want to talk to you about two things. One is about what you would say to individuals out there that have a dream. What would you say to them based on your own experience about the importance of pursuing that dream?
I'm not I don't know about every single thing, but when it comes to publishing, just to keep writing and to put it in someone's hands, get other people's opinions, start building an audience. You know, if you're on Facebook, share those notes and start getting your comments, but just to never give up, because there is a reader for every single book. Every single book, and it could be a book in somebody else just waiting to be written.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And what keeps you motivated? What is it that keeps you going in spite of?
I love to read. I love to read. That's why I publish. I have yet to publish a book that I wouldn't, as a writer, an author, as a publisher, that I wouldn't pursue, that I wouldn't myself go into a library and check out, that I myself wouldn't go into a bookstore and buy. So, yeah, that's what motivates me. I want to put these books in hands. I want people to get enthusiastic about reading and, you know, build their own home libraries. Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Katandra Shanel Jackson, everyone. She's the author of several books, including Diary of a Bride-to-Be and Angel Eyes, that you heard us talk about here. Katandra, how can our viewers stay in contact with you and the great work that Freedom Inc. is doing?
We're online, www.freedominc365, that's freedomink365.com. We're also at Freedom Inc. 365 on Twitter and at Facebook.
All right. Well, congratulations again, Katandra.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
And for all of you, thank you all for watching this edition of Conversations with Cyrus Webb. As always, you can stay in contact with us at www.conversationswithcyruswebb.com. Until next time, have a great one.